I would like to express my gratitude to the mission of Nigeria and the leadership that they show on family issues and on the promotion of motherhood and family. In fact, the mission of Nigeria was a co-sponsor of a motherhood panel that we co-hosted with other governments last year at CSW. And the ambassador was unable to attend that, so I've actually brought a little clip that we showed, that we created at CSW last year and showed at this panel on the importance of motherhood. We went and interviewed different participants in CSW from around the world to get their views, and I'm going to play that now. And I apologize that Nigeria's name is not on the credits because we got that too late to get them on, but they should be there front and center. But I'll put this little clip on.
Mothers are giving and loving.
I feel that motherhood has given my life meaning and purpose and great joy.
When you train a man, you have trained only one person. But when you train a woman, you have trained a nation, because women are custodians of every society.
There's a special connection between a mother and a daughter because she bore you, she nourished you, she taught you, and it's important to have that throughout your adolescence. It's important to have your mom.
Motherhood is a focal point of the family because she is home. She is the warmth of the family. She is the love. She is the sharing.
I feel the role of motherhood is important because our children are the future from the world.
If the family union is strong with the father, mother, and children, then that is the basis that spreads out in society, whereby it can be a healthy society.
Creo que la madre es el elemento enriquecedor de cualquier nación. Cuando hay una madre en una familia, creo que las familias funcionan bien.
This is my granddaughter. When she is beside me, I feel that I own the whole world. And when I hear her voice from far, I feel happy.
There's no substitute for motherhood.
And heaven is under the feet of mothers.
Thank you. Again, I could see that this message resonates in this room, the message of the critical role of mothers. And I'm so grateful to, again, Nigeria, that I've taken the opportunity. I would like to give this book to the ambassador, Ugwu. It's called It Takes a Mother to Raise a Village. And I think that's an important message that needs to be heard at the United Nations. I'd also like to give her a copy of the book that I wrote called Stand for the Family. And I'm going to be talking about women and mothers as the glue of the family. If she'd come up here, I'd like to give this to her. So please. The role of mothers is vital to the stability and the survival of nations. It is so vital that one of the following documents, the founding documents of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, says that motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. Even the Beijing Platform for Action in paragraph 29 states, women make a great contribution to the welfare of the family, which still is not recognized and considered in its full importance. The societal significance of maternity, motherhood, and the role of parents in the family and in the upbringing of children should be acknowledged. This is an area that I believe is not being given due attention here at the United Nations. Why did all the UN member states in Beijing feel it was important to recognize the critical role of mothers in the first place? It is because they knew that if women as a whole abdicated their role as mothers, there will be no development, there will be no sustainability, there will be no social security systems, because there will be no workers to fuel the economies. The women's rights movement since Beijing has opened many very important and much needed opportunities for women, and much work still needs to be done in many parts of the world. But in women's search for gender equality, in some cases, the pendulum has swung too far. When the quest for women's rights begins to devalue the role of mothers and contributes to the breakdown of the family, this not only do men and women lose, but our children do as well, and they are the future of our society. An extensive review of research was done in the United States that examines outcomes for men, women, and children according to family structure, such as married, single, divorced, or cohabiting households. The research overwhelmingly shows that men, women, and children generally do best, according to any measurable indicator, when they reside in an intact married mother-father family. Any deviation from the married mother-father family structure, the data shows, can lead to things such as poverty, crime, violence, substance abuse, disease, and other problems that world governments spend billions of dollars trying to repair. The research shows that women who live outside of a married family structure experience more violence, abuse, poverty, and a myriad of other negative outcomes. In other words, women have better outcomes when they're in a married mother-father, generally speaking. We know there are exceptions. From a purely economic perspective, there are enormous tangible costs to society and the state that emanate from family breakdown. If we were able to calculate the cost to each UN member state emanating from this breakdown, it would be astronomical. So it makes sense economically for governments to enact policies that strengthen the family. And the mother is the glue that holds the family together. She is the heart. She is the anchor of the family. So it just makes sense for governments to respect and promote and protect the critical role of mothers as called for in numerous UN documents. Indeed, all of us here in this room owe our very existence to our mothers. And when I talk about the family, I want to be clear. I'm referring to a family where husbands and wives respect each other and support each other in their respective roles. However, we fully recognize that due to a number of circumstances, millions of women find themselves in different family structures, such as single mothers. There's also extended families. Grandmothers, aunts play very important roles in raising up and helping in this family network that develops in countries all across the world. Further, if we are to value the role of mothers, we certainly want to keep mothers alive. We want to help them deliver healthy babies. Yet overall, the world has failed miserably to decrease maternal mortality rates. Billions of dollars have been spent on family planning with the idea that if we limit the number of pregnancies, then fewer women will die. But the reality is that in countries where all this money has been spent on family planning, maternal mortality rates have not decreased. And in some countries, they've even increased. You can see a correlation there. The developed world knows how to save mothers' lives, and that is through basic and emergency obstetric care. We know this saves lives, and we need to provide this for the mothers of the world. It seems that somewhere along the way in the women's movement, we began to reject motherhood and family, and rather to help women plan to have their families, we've been teaching them how to plan their families out of existence. And this has been done under the banner, ironically, of women's rights. And where these plans have met with success, the research show, interestingly, that it's the women who have suffered the most. Very interesting statistics that I don't have time to show right now. True empowerment of women comes not when women deny their nature and try to become like men, but when they embrace their nature to do what a man can never do, to create life and nurture that life that they create. And we can't forget the role of women in the world. I'm referring to the mothers of the world, and I'm referring to our innate nature as mothers, whether we bear children or not. A mother's love and a feeling to reach out to those who do not have mothers can help needy children all across the world. A mother's love can be more important to a child, to its future, than even education, food, or clothing. Colleen Down drove that home in the book that I presented to the ambassador. It's called It Takes a Mother to Raise a Village. And in this book, she shares a story from Mother Teresa, who valued motherhood greatly. She tells the story of a boy whom the sisters found in the streets of Calcutta. He was living with a mother in a box. The sisters took the boy back to the orphanage. They bathed him, fed him, gave him a clean bed to sleep in, and the next day, he disappeared. They found him back in the box with his mother. Once again, they took him back to the orphanage, and then he ran away again. Mother Teresa said she learned a very important lesson that day. A mother, even a mother in a cardboard box, was more important than the physical comforts that the sisters could provide. While visiting orphanages in Africa, I've witnessed firsthand the differences between children who have experienced a mother's love and those who had not. Regardless of why the children were in the orphanage, the impact of institutionalization was very evident. The clothing and toys we brought were largely ignored because all they really wanted was to be held. We wish we had 10 laps and 20 arms to hold them all. They were craving the love of a mother. But what really troubled me were their blank stares. The blank stares of those children who did not ever have that love of a mother. These are the children I cannot get out of my mind. UNICEF estimates that there are over 150 million orphans in the world growing up without a family and the love of a mother. This is a problem that needs more focus. If we think about the ramifications of 150 million children growing up and then entering into society without that guidance and directions, it's mind-boggling. I would now like to show you a clip of 3 of these orphans, siblings from Mozambique. They're going to tell you their story, and it'll be very quick.
Meu nome é Alfonso Felipe Belchior.
E eu sou Amélia Felipe Belchior.
Chamo-me Luís Felipe Belchior.
O pai morreu em 2001. Passando algum tempo, 2002, morreu minha mãe. Nós ficamos órfãos dos pais. Não tinha nem mãe nem pai. Ficamos sozinhos.
Passamos por um momento muito difícil. Ficamos só sozinhos em casa. Éramos só crianças e...
Não tenho, está morto. Pai nem mãe.
A única família que eu vi a nos aproximar um pouco mais foi a família de minha mãe. Eles vinham para cá, nos davam uma força, mas também eles eram pobres. São pobres, não tem nada para comer. Às vezes passam todo dia sem comer e coisas assim. Eles fizeram o seu máximo, mas não foi possível.
Ficávamos muito tristes, ficávamos humilhados, né? Por ver outros com mãe, nós sem pai, epa. É tristeza para nós, né?
Depois, mais tarde, meus irmãos tiveram contato, eles procuraram fazer atestado de pobreza e conseguimos entrar no centro, no orfanato, e estudamos lá por muito tempo. Também no centro não foi fácil, porque lá tinha pessoas de vários tipos, outros eram malandros, batiam nos outros, sei lá. Então, com aquele ambiente eu não estava habituado. E não foi fácil para mim.
Those are my children. Our family adopted Luis and Amelia and Afonso a year ago last December. And if we had time, which we don't, I have a wonderful video clip showing the arrival to our family, the love that's there. They're thriving. While I've been here at CSW, the oldest just got news that he's been accepted to a university here in the United States. A serious, serious topic, and we get lost in the rhetoric and all the things that we're trying to accomplish here, and we cannot forget the children. We cannot forget their needs. I was told that I could make a quick announcement because of those of you who care about these issues that I'm talking about. We want to network with you. We want you to join us. We have a caucus tomorrow night, Thursday night, in Conference Room B at 5 o'clock in the new building where the UN is negotiating for this conference. If you would come, we're going to be talking about a lot of family issues, but this is one of them. It's the importance of not only just promoting the motherhood and family, but of helping children. I'd like to just conclude with the words of a poet, William Ross, it's quite famous. He said, "The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." Mothers, keep rocking. Your mark will be felt for generations to come. Let's work together to enthrone motherhood at the center of all of national priorities and international priorities, and esteem motherhood as the greatest contribution a woman can make to society. Thank you.